Is it time to check for student comprehension of content? Are the students tired of Scantrons and the other usual suspects of data collection?
We know they are, but we're going to help you move into the 21st century with digital assessments on this week's episode of IT Weekly.
We know many of you love using your Google Apps for Education tools, and as I can remember, so does Aubrey. But did you know that one of the apps will allow you to assess your student digitally? Google Forms gives teachers options for gathering data and keeps all of the information organized. Many of you already know that you can use Google Forms to gather data from your students. But did you know that you can use it as a way to assess your students? So I have a Google Form, and if I want to turn this into a quiz, I just select the gear in the upper right-hand corner, and then select the Quizzes tab. I would then select the slider to make this a quiz and assign point values to questions and allow auto grading. There are a couple different options that you can select, like allowing your students to see the correct answers. When you're done changing those settings, go ahead and select Save. What you want to do is go through your quiz and select each question, and then select the answer key to provide the answers to each one of your questions. Once you've selected your answers, you will want to assign a point value to each one of your questions as well. When you're ready to share your quiz with your students, you can select Send, and then select the Link tab. This will provide you a link that you can share with your students. Once your students have answered your quiz, you can view the responses in two different ways. You would select Responses at the top, and you will be able to see your responses here once they have completed this quiz. You can also select this green option right here to create a spreadsheet that will have all of your students' responses. This is a quick way to gauge the understanding of your students on a particular topic.
Yep, and they're so easy that you can create your Google form for a warm-up or even a exit ticket. Speaking of easy, there's another option out there that's really excellent for you called Quizizz. What's nice about this is you can either create your own quiz or you can choose from a public bank of quizzes.
To create a new quiz in Quizizz, simply log in and click Create Your Own Quiz. You'll be able to add an image to your quiz and give your quiz a name. You'll also be able to decide if you want your quiz to be public or private. You can now enter a question as well as choice options for your quiz. You can even add additional images as a part of your question. Over here, you'll be able to select New Question to add additional questions as a part of your quiz. I'm simply going to pull a quiz that's already been developed inside of Quizizz from the public section. If I want to utilize and play one of my quizzes or a quiz that I found in the public area, I can select Play Live. I can choose and modify some of the question settings as well as the game settings as I see fit. Once I've selected all my settings, I'm going to click Proceed. I'm going to have my students go to join.quizizz.com and they're going to enter this code located in the top right hand corner of the screen. As students enter the game, you'll see their names pop up on your screen. You can select Start Game and students will begin answering questions on their screen. As students answer the questions, you'll be able to see how the students are doing on your screen. Students will also get instant feedback on their screen, letting them know what questions they get correct and which questions they get incorrect. You will also see additional data for each question down here at the bottom as your students are answering the questions.
So as you can tell, Quizizz is a very fun way for students to show what they know, and it lets teachers monitor students' responses in real time. And you can build some creative memes in here too.
Very funny. Quizizz is an excellent option because it does allow students to progress through the quiz at their own pace. But what if you wanted to team students up against each other on a team? Well, Quizizz does just that. So Quizizz has two options for you to create quizzes with. First one is being able to create a quiz from scratch. In order to do that, all you need to do is select the New Quiz button. It will allow you to enter a title as well as a topic for the quiz. If you want to add a question, you can do so. You can add different question types as well as assign durations and other settings for each question. If you would rather select a quiz from the marketplace, you can just select marketplace at the top and then select from any of the quizzes there. You can even browse different topics if you want to select a topic that way. Just be aware some of the quizzes do have a cost associated with them, but most of them are free. So when you're ready to give a quiz, you're going to select your quizzes, and then you're going to select play and share. And then you're going to give it to your class. This will then give you a few options that you can select, like using a timer and having sounds play. You'll then select continue, and now you're going to assign it to a class or a group. If you have already created a class or group, you can select that, or you can add to it to a new class. Now you have the option to play it during class, or you can assign this quiz as homework. You also have a few different settings down here that you can change as well. When you're done, select finish. Now you are ready to launch the game for your class. All you need to do is to the right of your quiz, just select launch game. In order to get your students started, you will have them go to zzi.sh. They will then need to enter the code for your quiz. Once they've entered the code, they will be able to go along the quiz at their own pace, and you will see them move along the quiz line in groups, so the students will be competing with each other to see which group has the highest score. The ability to assign multiple quizzes to students can also be very helpful.
And between Google Forms, Quizizz, or Quizizz, you have plenty of options to begin building your online assessment.
Right. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode. Make sure you check us out next week for another edition of IT Weekly.